Just how I remember them from my childhood. So good. Some recipes become family traditions because they're complicated. This one is not one of those. It's simple and it takes just a few minutes to make. And somehow, they also disappear very quickly. These are the oatmeal balls my grandma used to make, and I loved eating them at her house. And now, I still make them because they're that good, 10 years later. I'm not packing school lunches yet, but I pack these in my lunch going to work. These are perfect for busy mornings or when you just want a little sweet treat and not feel guilty about it. I will be doubling this recipe, so I'm going to use a very large bowl. You're going to need oats. I just use these rolled oats. I get the biggest size I can get because it's just easier and I make these very often. So this is an ingredient that I've added to the recipe. It is flaxseed. Flaxseed is super good for digestion. It's not too sweet, and there's a lot of fiber in here. One of the glues to this recipe is peanut butter. I use natural Jif. It doesn't have any corn syrup in it, and it tastes just the same. Next, you're going to want honey. I just use pure honey. You can use organic honey. Any type of honey will work. It just helps to glue all the other dry ingredients together. Another dry ingredient is chocolate chips. You can also use M&Ms. I've seen people use raisins, dried fruit, even some nuts, but I like just a little sweetness, so I use mini chocolate chips. And last, vanilla extract. I'm going to get my recipe card out of my little box. Here it is. I found it. For this recipe, you're going to need a cup measuring spoon, 1/4 cup, a 1/2 cup, and a teaspoon. And also a plus is if you have a peanut butter measuring cup. So with this, I need a cup of peanut butter, and then you just push it right out. Okay, let's get started. I'm very excited. Haven't made these in a long time. First, our bowl. My favorite spatula is dirty, so we're using the second best one. First, you want to mix your dry ingredients together. A 1/2 cup of flaxseed, and your choice of mixed in items. So I'm going to be doing mini chocolate chips. The recipe card says 1 cup of chocolate chips, but personally, I don't want a lot of chocolate chips for this recipe right now, so I'm just going to do a 1/2 cup. I've learned the hard way to use mini chocolate chips. The bigger ones you can still use, still gets the same flavor, but with the bigger ones, it's harder to chew. And my husband is not a big normal size chocolate chip kind of guy, so I've been using the minis, and they have been working great. Next, you're just going to want to stir all the dry ingredients together. This bowl is way too big for this, but I'd rather have a bigger bowl than a bowl that's too small. Once this is all mixed together, all you need to do is now add your wet ingredients. So for this, I need 1 cup of peanut butter, so I'm going to bring this down to the 1, and we're going to fill this up to the top. There's some holes and air gaps, but we'll be able to tell if the recipe needs more dry ingredients or more wet ingredients as we are stirring it together. So let's put the peanut butter in here. Next, we need 2/3 cup of honey. Thankfully, I have another bottle if this runs dry. So here's 1/3 cup of honey. So satisfying. Oh. Last, we need to mix in the vanilla. So 2 teaspoons. A tip I've learned is to kind of flatten the ball that's forming to kind of expose the peanut butter, and then flip it a few times, flatten it, flip it, get all the dry ingredients stuck on this one ball. Normally when I double this recipe, it just gets a lot stickier. So I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit more oats. Just a little bit, because I don't want to dry it out too much to then have to add more wet ingredients. There we go, that's kind of the texture I'm looking for. The final step is picking what shape you want to form these into. You can make them into granola bars, you can roll them into balls, flatten them to kind of a cookie shape. I love forming them into balls because they're easier to just grab and go. I do not like working in a cluttered mess, so I'm just going to try and clean up some of this stuff quickly. Okay, so what you're going to need to make them into balls is a cookie dough scoop. This one is a 2 tablespoon scoop, and this is about the size that I do. You can do them smaller or bigger, totally up to you, but I do them about this size. Just wash my hands since we'll be touching the food. If the mixture is super sticky, just keep the oats or flaxseed on hand and you can just sprinkle them in and get the right consistency you're looking for. So I have my storage container here and got the mixture here. If you don't like getting messy, you can shape them into granola bars. Since this is not a baked item, I would recommend putting them into a mold or something and then chilling them for 30 minutes and then wrapping them. Alright, let's get messy. I use a scoop just to get the same sizes. Scoop it into your hands, roll it a little bit, place it in your container. Super easy. These in the refrigerator, just so then the ingredients don't get super sticky sitting in a pantry or something. Plus, they taste really good cold. I'm half tempted in the future to tell my children that these are cookies. They have almost no processed sugar in them except for what's in the chocolate chips. But that can totally be skipped out. The honey makes it sweet enough that you don't need chocolate, but it does give it a little flavor. I love these things because they're sweet, they're salty with the peanut butter in it, they're full of fiber, great for digestion, easy to grab, and they do not take long at all to make. I see some cafes sell these types of things, these granola balls, for $2 a piece. And all the ingredients I showed you are not expensive. Probably the most expensive thing is the natural peanut butter, but if you don't want to get natural peanut butter, you don't have to. My mother-in-law actually makes her own vanilla. She gets vanilla beans and she soaks them in alcohol. She tries so many types of combinations. We have about 5 or 6 different bottles of vanilla with varying flavor. Some are good for chocolate, some have coconut in them. Fill this one up with any excess because I am a person that scrapes the bowl clean. I do not like throwing things out. This one's gonna be kind of smaller, but that's okay. It's still loved. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna count how many I just got. This is the best part of making something, is tasting your creation. So let's see, I might eat the little one just because then everything's the same shape and then it brings me peace. So let's try this one. I do chill them for 30 minutes in the refrigerator, and then I actually also store them in the fridge. I keep them in the fridge just so then they're not a sticky mess. Because when they are chilled, they're not near as sticky. So this one's really sticky because they were not in the fridge yet. Just how I remember them from my childhood. That is amazing. Just the right amount of sweetness. Got a little salt from the peanut butter. So good. They're a great size because you can grab 1 or 2, eat it have a little sweet treat, and not feel guilty about it. I have this recipe written down on a card, but I want to show you guys a new app called Recipe, where you can scan your recipe cards, organize them, sort your recipes, keep them all in one place. It's super easy to edit and it's very simple to share with others. I'll put this recipe down in the description in case you guys want to try this yummy treat. I think they're perfect for back to school, grab and go, anything really. I adore these. I've been eating them for about 10 years now, and I'm not sick of it. Let me know in the comments if you tried to make these. Love to hear what kind of things you add into your recipe. You could add pumpkin seeds, cashews, peanuts, raisins. You can add so many different things in these to make different variations of flavors. I have an aunt who only puts nutritional things in hers. They still taste good, and my grandma likes putting M&Ms in hers. So we have very different spectrums here, and so I'd love to know what you guys put in yours. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for letting me make these. I will devour this in about 3 days.